Ha ha ha. What's good? What's good? What's good, YouTube? Stormybman. And I am back. Yes, I am. For this Sunday evening, December 15th, 2019. Coming to you with a Sunday evening boxing conversations and observations. Yeah. I just want to say salute to the LDBC. I want to say salute to everybody that's out there listening. You know, if you want to join on in here and see what we're talking about this evening, please just smash the like button. Come in and pull up a chair and listen to what we're talking about this evening. Huh? Because there's always something to talk about, right? In the sport of boxing, always some moving and shaking going on. So, Stormybman was kicking back. Thought I'd just come on here and again do what I do, and that's to share my views with you, and hopefully you can share some of yours with me, and we can debate, talk about it, laugh, you know, and make it worth some time. Want to say salute to everybody that's in the chat right now. We got Trap House Boxing out there. He says, "Damn, Stormy, I'm still trying to listen to your first joint." It's all good. I'll catch up. Yeah, Trap, I was saying that I'd come on and do something, you know. And appreciate you checking out the other one, you know. Ramsey Sutton III is out there. He says, "Peace to the chat and salute to the LDBC." Yes, sir. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More, is out. He says, "What it do? What's going on, Michael?" We're going to have to be able to make it available where you can get on here and let people hear your voice with me one day there, Michael. So keep in mind that you can send me an email, so I'll have yours at stormybman@gmail.com. You know, send that email in, Mike, and I can get you in my list, you know. Then I'll be able to send some links to you or something like that. Make it happen. Yeah. So, like I said, just smash that like button, people. You know, don't be ear slutting out there. Talk to Stormy. Yeah, I can see that we've had some news that popped in within the last 20 hours or so. That is where this guy, Tyson Fury, they're talking about he's gotten rid of his trainer. And I guess that's in light of his, you know, impending fight against Deontay Wilder. They're going to have a rematch, supposedly. We'll see. But looks like Mr. Fury is going on in another direction. And what's his name? Ben Davison, or what is the gentleman's name? Will no longer be getting him prepared for this rematch. Perhaps he made that contact that I suggested, you know, for the circus act that he is. I said that Ringling Brothers may be available for him. So since he's been over in the dabbling in the sport of wrestling, and he enjoys a good circus act, why not enlist the more than capable Ringling Brothers? They've been dealing with circuses since the turn of the century, huh? Right up his alley. That's what I said. So, you know, Mr. Fury, that's all you need to do. Get him going. So, Michael Johnson says, "I got you." And also, Ben Davis ain't letting Fury snort dope. Yeah, that's one thing about it, bro. The dope man Huh? That's what he's into, Mr. Fury. He's into the dope. He's into everything that is on the wild side of the sport. He's not interested in legacy. He's not interested in quality bouts. You know, he's interested in a good time. So maybe whoever he gets to train him will allow him to be the best dope he can be. So we'll see. More on that later, I guess. You know what I mean? Because whoever works with him, they're going to have to try and get this man not only mentally focused and sharp, but they're going to have to try and get him available, prepare him for a fighter that's going to enter this rematch as deadly as possible. Mr. Fury doesn't know that he awakened a sleeping giant in the heavyweight champion by escaping a knockout and being awarded a draw that he didn't earn, and then ducked the immediate rematch that they were contracted to, looking to go seek softer opposition. And with that happening, he was challenged again in ways that he didn't see. One was the challenge of the American public. They don't really like, guys that come out there and create a show or something like that. They want you to show it in the ring here in America. They don't care about bells and whistles when it comes to their sport of boxing. But I'll tell you this, in that second fight that he opted with softer opposition, where the otter got a chance to touch him up and cut up his eye really bad in a match where the cut was so severe, it should have been stopped. The fight should have been stopped on cuts with that performance. And we saw that this man tried to fight hard. He tried to fight tough. He actually got aggravated with Otter because Otter Wallen was putting it on him a little bit, fighting above the level of which they thought he would compete, especially when he saw the blood, and that's what you're supposed to do. You see blood in the opponent, you go for him, And Fury, you could see in those later rounds, was like gritting his teeth and trying to go, but he couldn't hurt the man because he doesn't have no punching power, man. He's just a big 6'7", 6'8" gump. That's right, Fury, I said it. You're a gump. Now, you take that how you want it, but get mad and go in there and try to knock the champ out with that, gritting your teeth, standing your ground. You're going to find yourself on the ground. You go out there with the champ like that. Trap House says, that's in life in general with Fury. Absolutely, Trap. Lepers do not change their spots. They wear them. Laws D, the pimpin' is in the chat. He says, what's good, OG B man? What's good with you, OG, the pimpin'? We need to get you on here, the pimpin'. Matter of fact, if you remember how you did that before, you can do it right now. And I'll have you on with me right now, and you can chop it up with me a little bit as we do this Sunday boxing conversations and observations. It's all good. Law says, Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More. Salute to you, brother. And Trap House. Salute to you, brother. Ramsey Sutton III says, 6'9", 280, pillow hand having asshole. Ramsey Sutton III. There, man. That's hey, I like that. You telling it like it is, brother. You telling it like it is. I ain't mad at ya. I ain't mad at you. That's what it is, bro. That's exactly. I could not have said it better. Yes, sir. Trap House says, "What's up, the pimpin'?" Yeah. And then we got Curtis Anderson out there. What's up with you, Kurt Sugar? He says, "Stormy B Man and the chat, peace." What's going on, brother? That was a good show you guys did this morning. I'm just sorry I didn't catch the full beginning because I slept in. And next thing you know, I was like, oh. So I upped up and did the usual, brush the teeth and get yourself showered and everything. And I tuned in. But I couldn't catch you guys from the beginning because this OG was snoring. But that was a great show this morning. So appreciate that. Michael Johnson is saluting at Laws. And Kenyatta Hill is saying, first time listening. Welcome, Kenyatta Hill. Hope it's not the last time. Stormy B Man does his joints from time to time, but I'm always trying to give it, something entertaining, something worth listening to, something, to enjoy. We laugh a little bit over here, crack jokes on these fighters and one another. That's what we do. Keeping it nice. You know what I mean? Laws is saluting at Kirk. But yeah, man, this guy decides he wants to switch from Ben. Now I haven't heard the details, but when it comes down to people like Tyson Fury, details don't really matter because he's always doing some mess. You know what I mean? So a lot of it is for the value of getting someone's ear, or putting that mic in their face or whatever. That's what has run its gamut here in the U.S. He talking about he don't want to go back to the U.K. They don't want you in the U.K., huh? And we don't want you here, huh? So, Lost the Pimpin' says, Trap and Fanon going at it today over Bud. That was a great show from the OGs. Yeah, I still have to go back and catch the early portion of that because I was asleep. And I missed that good part. But I told Trap I'm going to have to tune in and see what was said, Because, I just, I enjoy the brothers. But I stayed up to do my stream last night as a post-fight. And I was already falling asleep when I was doing that. So I was tired. The brother was tired. Hey, man. Laws the Pimpin' says, Stormy B Man, channel's looking dope, bro. Thank you, Laws, man. You know me, man. I'm like like Steve Harvey is with his suits and stuff. That's how I am with my presentation. I want it to look good, want it to shine. Try to look nice, Got my little setting here. Lake Michigan behind, the Chicago skyline behind me, That's how we, in the shy, It get cold here, but when it's warm and nice, this is kind of what it's like, man. A nice summer night, downtown buildings lit up and everything, people walking around, enjoying themselves. That's what it's all about, man. But I appreciate the compliment, man. Lost D is one of the brothers that's been rolling with me since the very beginning when I had announced, oh, by the way, ladies and gentlemen, my channel, as of the 15th of this month, it'll be 1 year anniversary for Stormy B Man since I started producing content. And I was hoping that I could make to 400 subs before the end of the year, before January 1st, because I think I'm about 8 away, or no, I think I'm about six subs away from 400. So if you haven't, subscribed to the Stormy B Man channel, please feel welcome to do that to help push me to that magic number of 400, man. I never thought I could get this many people to listen to me talk about boxing, but and I talk about food and kung fu movies too. I can't leave that out. But, it's nice to have that support and that love from the community. I appreciate you all for doing that. And if there's anyone that's not subscribed, please do so. Just be a filler number, But I will try to continue to produce good stuff for you. What else we got here? Harold Jones is out there. He says, "Evening, King." Good evening to you, Harold. Good to see you. I know I don't see you very often, but it's nice to see you this evening. Appreciate you stopping by. And smash that like button, people, as you come through, please, because we want to keep those likes up for the analytics and the support for the channel. Lets people know that this content is worth your time. E. Woodson is out there. He says, "Stormybman, Shy City OG, salute." Hey, E. Woodson, what's going on with you, brother? Chi-Town, stand up. That's what it's all about, man. Supporting one another. Laws Dawkins says, "B-Man, always on point." Yeah, I tried, man, but thank you, man. Laws is a great supporter, man. Appreciate you. And appreciate you letting me be on your platform as well, Laws. You do good stuff over there, man. And Laws and I have a show that we do from time to time. It's called Kingdom and the States, where East and West, the United States and the UK team up to talk about the sport and the sport personalities. It's a show that we'll do from time to time. It's not a particular slot, but it'll be on weekends where Laws D and we just talk the sport of boxing with a UK perspective and a US perspective between the two of us. And we'll go back and forth, share our ideas and our thoughts on various personalities in the sport and the events that they participate in, meaning the fights, and that's something we'll do, periodically. So when you see that banner for Kingdom and States, know that's Laws D and I. It's got the US flag and the UK flag meshing together. Yeah. So that's what's happening. So what else we got here? Ramsey Sutton III says, "Chilling on the lakefront." Yeah, man. You like that? Huh? Stormy is like, chilling. I got my little beverage here, but because my cup is like, it's kind of green, like my green screen, so it looks jacked up if I pull it up in front of the screen. But I also got a bottle of water. Got to have that water to keep your throat lubricated so you can continue to talk shit, So yeah. But we got Law says, "We will get you 400, no problems." I hope so, man. 400 will be great. 400 within a year. For me, that's outstanding, man. You know what I mean? And I don't beg for subs. I just mention it as a marquee and a highlighted number because it's so close with just a few, six subs or so to 400. And, we're right at the end of the year just about. That's great. That means I've turned some heads and some ears on to, what I produce. So I appreciate that type of support, man. I really do. So E. Woodson says, "I'm looking at Lake Michigan now. I work right across from Oak Street Beach." Yeah. Tell him, E. Woodson, isn't it a beautiful view, man? If you've never been to the Chi, to be downtown near the lakefront and to catch a glimpse of this view, man, it's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. Notice how the lighting from the streets, that's all illuminated up on the buildings, right? And it makes the buildings look golden. It's at first, when I remember when they put those lights in the city, because they used to be just regular halogen bulb lights. Then they put that tint to them. So at nighttime, it lights everything up almost like a golden look or whatever. It's nice, when you catch it on the visual, but we don't realize the aesthetic of it when walking around or whatever. But when you see it on something like this, it looks nice, right? Real nice, So Laws D says, I have a second channel called Laws Pimpin' Boxing. I will sub now, OG. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. And he's saluting E. Woodson. Trap House is saluting E. Woodson. He says, what's up, G? Kurt Anderson says, E. Woodson, what's going on? Legendary Top Cats is out there. Peace, peace. What's up with you, Legendary, man? You ain't seen my Buick, have you? I'm going to have to change the paint job on it, you know? He says, just watched the 2020 Olympic trials. Fire. Really? Okay. I wasn't even thinking about that, man. But that's pretty good. You have to do a video on that. Let us know what it was like, man. Do some coverage. If you can cut loose them ladies and, you know, in that players club you got going on over there. Yes, sir. All right. Law saying, I just subscribed with my second channel. Thank you, sir. Ramsey Sutton III says, I used to hang out on State Street in the summertime when I lived out there. Yeah, it's nice, man. It's really nice, you know. Law says, I just think America is a beautiful country. We love to live there. Yeah, Laws, it has, you know, it has its good points and its sour points like every place else. But, you know, I'm not a anti-countryman or anything like that. Life is what you make it from where you live it, you know. Legendary Topcast is saluting at Laws and the family. Let's see if I missed anybody. I think I got Wookie Wook is in there. He says, salute, bros. What's going on with you, Wookie Wook? Wookie Wook be lingering around the Stormybman channel. I like to see that support, man. I love that, man. Wookie Wook be popping in and popping out. Just stop by to hit that like button, he says, you know, which is all good. That's, you know, that's nice when people can just stop by and hit your like button, you know. That's good stuff, man. Appreciate that. All of that, you know. So, yeah, you know. But, yeah, this Tyson Fury thing, changing up on his trainers. My observation on that is, if you want to look at it from a positive standpoint, maybe he's looking at someone who can help him do something from a boxing tactical standpoint that may improve his chances of surviving a 12-round match against the champ. And at this juncture of his career, with so much slacking he's done and lack of proper competition, I don't believe you can teach this old dog new tricks. Okay? But he is a one-trick pony. And the one-trick pony that he has is trying to be kind of elusive in there or whatever. But he doesn't pack a punch. And this time, Deontay is going to go to him and take him the hell out of there. You know, before Deontay gave him a little bit more respect and everything, but he's shown he doesn't deserve the respect. He's shown that he is not one to be respectful of. And I hope that we're talking 3 rounds tops with this dude. I just don't want the champ to be over aggressive or anything like that. Be calculating, precise, and put this chump away. That's what I want. You know, you can bring back Ray Arcel, Eddie Futch, and Emmanuel Stewart, Tyson Fury. It ain't gonna help you, bro. It ain't gonna help you. You don't box as good as Luis Ortiz. You have extremities that are long, you know, arms are very long, your reach and everything like that. But dude, as far as skill set, your skill set lacks, okay? You've been undefeated and have had the success that you've had due to your height and your reach. If you were 6'4" or under, you've been knocked out long time ago. Long time ago. Okay? Your boxing skills, they suck. Some people want to call you one of the best boxers in the heavyweight division. That's bullshit. Tyson Fury is not one of the best boxers in the heavyweight division. Now, boxing and being a southpaw, Luis Ortiz is a damn good fighter. That's why nobody in the division wants to fight him. Okay? But as far as Tyson Fury being one of the best boxers, the guy, he's able to hide behind that. He's just a guy that doesn't want to be on the inside because he can't fight on the inside, and he doesn't like to get hit at all. So he stays on the outside and things like that. Now, there was a time when his talent was assessed differently by Emanuel Stewart, but he hasn't progressed beyond that time. The reason that he hasn't progressed beyond that time is because he found his own little niche of particular fighters to fight where he had certain advantages and qualities that they could not best him. And he dwelled within that area. But name one outside of the champ, one fighter in the top 10 that he has fought. Tyson Fury. Going on the merit that Emanuel Stewart said that he was such a good boxer. Name me one. I'll wait. Well, we got here some activity in the chat. Everybody saluting each other again. And then Kenneth Johnson, who has joined us, says, salute Stormybman, enjoying the live while trying to perform good patient care. That's all good, Kenneth Johnson. I'm glad you out there helping people yourself, man. If that's what you do, man, take care of the people, man, and you will be blessed. It's coming back to you, man. We need that in our lives. One of these days, I might require patient care, and I hope that somebody takes care of me as well as, you know, they can, because that's something that we often overlook until we're in that position. And there are a lot of people out here not taking care of our families and everything, man. Regardless if you're a person who's coming through from surgeries and things like that, or if you happen to be elderly or whatever the case may be, where you need assistance. It's a prime job, and it's a position of respectability. And I do respect that. So salute to Kenneth Johnson for what you're doing, man. Let's see. Laws the Pimpin' says, he did, B-Man, before he started playing his games and joining ESPN, fighting bums, and then that WWE BS. Yeah, man. Tyson Fury, that's exactly on the head. Harold Jones says, Fury's size has been the advantage. Absolutely, Harold Jones. Absolutely. Laws of Pimpin' says that Kenneth Johnson was good. E. Woodson saluting Trap. And Laws is laughing at E. Woodson. And E. Woodson says, you all know where the heck I am. Yeah, and Laws says, smash that like button. Yes, sir. Smash the like button for us, please. Smash the like button. Now, check this out. Let's get into a little bit of a conversation on the fights that took place last night. First and foremost, let me shout out Teofimo Lopez. Excuse me. What a performance by that young man. Dude, when you can go in there and knock a guy out like that, quick, fast, and in a hurry, before your shoes get too dirty from being on that canvas, man. It's like that fight was a fighter, you know, Richard Comey was tailor-made for him, man. Based on the way that Comey fights, based on Comey's lack of understanding the sport. Comey has had some issues in the past. You know, remember his match against Easter? Listen, Teofimo is a guy who they're priming for stardom, okay? And pretty soon, they may be looking to match him up against Vasily Lomachenko, which I believe that's a fight he can definitely win. especially with Lomachenko. His face isn't holding up now in fights. He goes 5-6 rounds, and it looks like his face is all battered and everything, and he's easy to cut now. That wear and tear of having such a illustrious amateur career with all those fights and everything starting to catch up to him, and I do believe a guy like Teofimo can definitely get in there and put the foo-flops, as they say, on him. You know what I mean? So it's just a matter of time how long Bob Arum is gonna, keep him separated from the wolves at the door. And I think that time is drawing near, because Teofimo is a guy who, I guess you could say, in the sport, they can market something about his popularity, his charisma, whatever that thing is with young people. He comes out there and he's doing the dances and the flips and stuff. A lot of stuff that we've seen in the past with Jorge Paez and guys like that, Hector Camacho, and being a Latin fighter, that's something that they can promote, because those people will get behind him and they will support him. It's a nationality thing, and that's fine. That's understandable. But what I don't like is what they've done with Devin Haney. Taking his titles away and talking about he being a champion in recess. What the hell is that? When we watched just a year ago, that Mr. Keith Thurman, he held on to titles and was inactive due to proposed injuries and everything for a long time. Well over a year. And Mr. Young Haney, he has surgery on his shoulder that he came out of his first title defense, and he injured himself. So he had shoulder surgery on it. And before he could get home from the hospital, they were making this announcement, that they're removing him from being the WBC champion and giving him a champion in recess status, which means that he's basically been put on the shelf until he can be well enough to fight again, and he'll have a option to fight for the title that he supposedly was awarded, because he didn't get a chance to fight in the ring for it, where Lomachenko, he fought for the right for the #1 contention status, beat that fighter, and Lomachenko vacated the belt and asked for franchise preferential, and they gave it to him. And when there was a backlash from the public, from fighters themselves, as it opened up that conversation on franchise status, what does that mean? Because you don't lose the status, you can't lose it, and you don't have mandatories. What the hell? And then you can dip in and out of fighting against certain people and avoid certain people because they can't make you fight them, because that person can't be a mandatory towards your status. All of this foolishness, man. All of this foolishness. Hold on one second, people. I got a call coming in, and I have to... Let's see. Sorry about that. So anyway, what I was trying to say is, Haney, he was awarded the belt. He defended it. He won his first title defense. Now they're trying to take that away from him because they want to produce a couple of fights potentially for Lomo, and by him not being a franchise champion, or he's kind of like interim now, whether he's between the franchise and he's between the natural WBC title lightweight. It's like here we go with this foolishness. And the two guys that could fight for that title that has been snatched away from Haney is is it Taylor, Josh Taylor, and the other guy. What they're doing is they're trying to give preferential treatment with certain fighters over some of these fighters of color who are not only prodigy type fighters, which means that they're up and coming young thoroughbreds who deserve opportunities and shots at titles. They're keeping them on the outside and letting some of these mediocre fighters remain in place because of nationality and things like that. And it's damaging to the sport very much. And that's something that we can't support at the end of the day. We have to be very much stern on that and call it out for what it is. Just like when people had the backlash about Lomo going to ask for the franchise status. Please, can you pull me up here so I can fight these villains down here? These guys, they want me. That's what it was, you know? And that's, man, come on. Laws D says, Haney need to get the F away from Hearn. Yeah, he need to get away from Hearn. But we need to get Hearn out of the sport. There's a lot of things that need to take place, man. This Stormybman, this guy, need to get him out. Need to get him out of there. These guys are not helping the sport. Stormybman creates a belt every other week for a status for a guy. Remember, he created the Mayan belt for your boy Tyson Fury. What is that? The Mayan belt? For a dude from the UK? Who's not even a real gypsy, by the way. Okay? Let that be. The Gypsy King was just something they put up for him. You know, a moniker. But so much happening in the sport, man. That's why I said that these guys, they need to really go and look at what's happening. You know what I mean? It's like when you see these men and they've been given these opportunities. Tyson Fury, when they brought him over here, they were hoping to bring him in as a fighter who could have a certain amount of status in the sport. But it's because of his complexion, you know. But they didn't realize how much of a fool he really is, you know. But we saw that. We saw what was happening with him. But now they know. The Bob Arams and the people who have been dealing with him, they know now. You know. Anybody ever remember Mookie from New Jack City? When Mookie was in there and they got him cleaned up from being a druggie on the streets and everything. And he was like, oh, man, I want to do something. You guys have been so good to me. I want to do something. I want to help you bring down these bad guys, these drug dealers and everything. He's like, I could work undercover for you guys. Man, they let Mookie get close to that crack house. He fell right off back into that crack, Blew the whole operation and everything. Crackhead, That's Tyson Fury. ESPN let him over there and thought he was going to be somebody that they can hype and build and everything as the anti-Wilder. And guess what? He is the anti-Wilder because Wilder is no crackhead. He's a real legitimate champion. He's a guy that goes out there and knocks people the fuck out. And he's well represented and well spoken and a true man. Fury is a fucking crackhead. He can't crack an egg. He has no popularity here. He is not doing anything to promote the welfare of the sport or anything, and he's a fucking buffoon. Now, how much the anti-Wilder can you be? That's y'all know I'm telling the truth. You may not like it if you some Fury lovers out there. Fuck you. Because I'm telling you, that's exactly what it is. Huh? I'm telling you, man. E. Woodson says, I was a fan of Loma. I still am to a certain degree. But the shady politics in boxing has shifted my attention on Loma from who he will beat next to who will catch up with him and give him that smoke. Macadon 1 has joined us. Macadon 1 says, salute Stormybman. Salute to you. E. Woodson says, salute Chief Macadon. And Macadon's at E. Woodson. And Laws D the Pimpin'. Yeah, man. I'm telling you guys, this is what it is. Now back to Devin Haney. Devin Haney is such a good young prospect that he was destined to be in line for a title shot that he could possibly win. And so now that they had awarded Lomo this franchise thing, which there was a tremendous backlash from public and other fighters and everything, like, hey, this is not right. This franchise shit. It's not, how do you define this? So now they're trying to pull back from that and say, well, we didn't ask for that status or whatever. And Suleiman came out and dispelled that and was like, yes, you did. You came to us. You met with us at 8 o'clock on a Sunday morning and blah, blah, blah. He just told the shit on his ass, and it just made it look really bad for Lomo. So now Lomo is out there and he's back in the ranks, trying to disprove all of this. But in the meantime, while he was doing that, all these other sharks start circling his waters, So he's on thin ice right now. Lomo is about to get fucked up. Okay? And it don't matter who it's going to be now, but it should have been Devin Haney. Okay? And they tried to stave that wolf off at the door. They tried to keep him on the outside. We ain't going to let him whoop our good old boy. Yeah? But no. You look around, Devin Haney is on the shelf now just simply because of his surgery. But now they're talking about this guy, Teofimo. They're talking about Teofimo, and Teofimo is in a position to do these things, and he's going to get the credit and acknowledgement. But Devin Haney has put in the work. Man, the sport sucks when it comes down to this kind of foolishness. Huh?
Clean, dirty. Clean or
Those
dirty?
are both clean. Both clean. So, yeah, these are the kind of things that are happening, man. And we have to talk about it. We have to put it out there. We have to let people know what's happening. And, hey, that's why I'm having this little conversation with you all this evening. Now, we got, who else is out there? Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens. He says, salute my peoples. Salute to you, Reggie. How you doing, brother? Good to see you this evening. And how'd you enjoy them fights last night, Reggie? I didn't get a chance to talk to you too much because I know everybody was on different streams and everything. E. Woodson says, when Fury walked out looking like Apollo Creed, I was done. Man, I was done when he decided not to take the direct rematch with Deontay Wilder. His place in the sport was never at a higher premium than directly after that fight. They fought a good fight against one another. There was controversy at the end, and that was an opportunity to go right into a rematch and settle things. If they had gone ahead, settled things, and allowed the story to come to its natural conclusion, win, lose, or draw, Fury could have left with his head high and respectability intact. But what he did, that bum of a move he pulled, leaving the contract on the table and going to sign with Top Rank with Bob Arum, who always wants to put his old ass Depends in the middle of shit when boxing is trying to progress. Here comes this ancient Yoda ass motherfucker fucking with the sport, interfering. And it's bad. You know? It's bad. Michael Johnson, Boxing Talking More, says, all I hear is crickets when Dubois called out White. You ain't going to hear anything but crickets. Because Dillian White, the fat slob of a slug that he is not looking to fight anybody who could give the smoke, man. And there are tons of fighters that could get a smoke. And some of them are right over there where he is. We ain't even got to talk about the U.S. fighters. He got young guys over there. And I had said this about Anthony Joshua. I said he's going to mess around. This was before he lost to Andy Ruiz. I said he's going to mess around. He's going to put himself in a position. And these young guys are going to develop. And all of them are going to become contenders for the titles that he has, whether it's the WBA, the IBO, the IBF, whatever, WBO, all those titles. These men are going to start becoming number one contenders from them. The Joe Joyces, the Danny Dubois, the Effie Ajabas, all those guys, they're going to be moving up those ranks to those titles. Because they don't all have to go the route of Deontay Wilder, because Wilder is so formidable, right? But AJ created this mess, man. And now these guys have closed that window. They closed that gap of talent, and they're right on his fucking heels now. Next year, one of them should be getting a title shot. Next year to one of those belts, or the belt is going to get stripped. And then they're going to be a young champion who fought for a vacant belt that didn't earn the belt in the ring, and they're going to be in the same fucking position Joshua was when he started acquiring those belts too. See, they created a mess here. All Andy Ruiz had to do was go out there and close the door on this story, and we could move forward in the sport. Because he would go into a fight with Deontay Wilder as a unification. Wilder gets all the belts, defend him a few times till he gets to that 50-0, and then he can retire. And then those belts will go back out, and then these guys can start fighting over him again. But no, they didn't want to do that. They didn't want to do that. So look at what it is now. Look at it for what it is. You know? Christopher Journet says, salute Stormybman. I just want to say, since all the top 147-pound fighters can beat him, why don't any of the top 147-pounders go to Bud fights and call Bud out? I'll wait. Listen, man. You know why they ain't going to call Bud out, because Bud will answer the call. Bud doesn't have the personality that a lot of these guys have. Bud reminds me of a guy from a different era. He lets he allows his talking to be done in the ring. If you want to make a fight, he makes a fight. He'll agree to it, and then they go and they fight. Let's forget the promotional groups and stuff for a moment, because there's always going to be someone signed with someone else. That's been in the history of the sport. And until we get Bob out of there, these things will continue to happen as a hindrance, holding up the sport. But when Danny Garcia moved up from 140 to 147, there were guys waiting at the door. Come on, Danny, come on in here. Come and get some. They wanted to take him on. Danny became a 147-pound fighter that won a title. Now, all of them are up there, and they're circling each other and everything, but they're like, yeah, we're not ready to do this yet. We want to make a payday. We're going to do this. We're going to do that. We're going to do the third, you know. But when Bud moved up from 140 as undisputed, which Danny did not do, when Bud moved up to 147, these guys suddenly stopped looking down at the lower weight that for those move up, and they start looking all out in the stratosphere, looking up and down the street and everything, huh? Matter of fact, that's when the streets became a term when it came to fighting. He's on that side of the street, and he's on that side of the street, and I'm on this side of the street, so, I got to clean up my street first, huh? There you go, huh? Bud come up and said when he won the WBO, they said, well, he has to have a belt. He beat Jeff Horn for the WBO title, and they asked him right after the fight in the ring, they said, what about taking on some of the other fighters, the other champions at this weight class now that you've moved up? He was like, oh, yeah, I want all those guys. He said it. It's right there on the tape. He didn't go out and say, oh, I want Earl Spence. I want Sean Porter. I want Keith Thurman. I want, blah, blah. He didn't say all of that. He said, oh, all those guys. It don't matter. All of them. But nobody wanted him, though. And the thing about it is this. He's skillful. He's good. He's a threat. But you don't know if he's going to beat them or not unless they get in the ring with him. That's how you're going to find out. But ain't nobody trying to get in the ring with him either. Now it becomes a thing of you talking about, well, he's signed with that promotional group. These promotional groups work together all the time. Huh? They work together. When they get ready, but when it's convenient for them to say that they're not going to work together, that's what they hide behind. Because that can be played up over and over and over again while a guy ducks. Huh? It's like he duck on out the way and he go on out the back door while y'all arguing over what promotional group should be allowed to impact what's going to happen. Really? You're seeing this. You're seeing it all the time. Branulus is out there. He says, salute Stormy in the chat. What's good with you, Branulus? Who else we got here? Trying to read that. I can't read it. I can't read that message that was deleted. Christopher Journey, what was that about? I can't read why it was. Christopher Journey says El Chapo stop being a man fan and respect the sport of boxing. And World Breaker fighting message deleted by. Let's see. I guess we got trolls coming over here now, huh? Well, mods, you guys are doing your job. I am not complaining. I'm going to take it back a moment. Laws D says, facts. Tyson Fury is not a real gypsy. He's from Wythenshawe, Manchester, England. He's from a council house, not a caravan. He's not a real Irish guy. Yeah, and he's been exposed. That's why, people, they don't support that, the fakes and the phonies, man. I don't know why guys who are just into this life don't realize what happened to Milli Vanilli once people found out about them, huh? Milli Vanilli went down big time, and they was out there on stage performing, having hits and everything, but it wasn't really their voices on the radio, on the record tracks. So he's out of there. Christopher Journey says, salute at Stormy. I just want to say, since all... Oh, okay. I read that. I'm sorry. So, yeah. Christopher said, El Chapo, Bud didn't celebrate Spence accident. Really, dude. Yeah. Yeah, Lost D and Christopher Journey, you brothers are mods. If you're gonna hit those guys, hit them with the ban. Don't hit them with a timeout. Okay? Let's just off with the heads, man. I give you, Stormybman, give you Pa Gra to take these trolls out. I ain't dealing with trolls. I don't negotiate with terrorists. Okay? So we deal with extreme prejudice here of trolls. So let's cut those guys, ban them, bar them from the channel. Because I'm talking to you all, and I'm not watching all of those comments like that. So when they come and they start getting timed out, don't time them out. Just hide them from the channel. That's it. Stormy is like, phew, you understand? Ghost these suckers. Ghost them. There's plenty of other brothers out in the LDBC for the trolls to have banter back and forth with, but Stormy ain't got time for that. Look at me, how I've been talking to you guys. I ain't got time for foolishness like that. Off with their heads, get them off the channel, and they can make 1,000 different aliases or whatever, and we'll fucking ban them 1,000 fucking times over. That's how we gonna do it around here. That's how we gonna deal with it. So, but we got the boxing spreadsheet in the house. He says, Stormybman, what's going on with you, Blood? Hey, Blood. I'm asking you here on the air, because when I call you, you don't answer. You still ain't answering my calls. When I email you, you don't respond. I'm still going to email you and talk to you. I want to get you on the eye of the storm, bro. I want to get you on the eye of the storm, and we got to lock you down and commit you to a day. Okay? Good stuff. What else we got there? Boxing Conversations with Reggie On says, Tyson Fury is nothing but a white guy who went camping on weekends, came to America to tell that lie to European Americans, and them fools bought it. Yeah. Seems like the lies come from across the pond so much. That seems to be the legacy. Doesn't it, Reggie? Christopher Jornay says, respect. Laws D says, yes, sir, B-man. I will do that, bro. Yeah, man. Off with their heads, man. We do it like in Gladiator here. We just put them to death, man. You know, they ain't welcome. Trolls ain't welcome. You understand? Bear down. Earl would kill crawfish in 4 rounds. I tell you what, bear down. We like to see it try to happen, huh? We like to see the two of them in the ring. That's what we want to see. I don't want to talk about that. I want to see it for myself. Talk is mere speculation. That's like that old adage about sports teams. On paper, it seems like the Patriots should win this Super Bowl. But then here come the New York Giants, huh? When they were undefeated, huh? On paper. But they don't play the games on paper. They play the games on the field. Just like on paper or in your mind, how small it may be, huh? The fighters fight it out in the ring, not in your mind, huh? How about that? Let's see what else we got. Boxing Conversations with Reggie On says, great show this morning at Boxing Spreadsheet. Yeah, the part that I caught was very good as well. I didn't catch it from the very beginning, though. I caught like the last 45 minutes. Stormybman was asleep. So, Laws D says, yeah, Blood is my best boxing YouTube channel. Blood is a real OG. Yes, he is. I like when Blood start going off on people, man, and he start just laying into them, because he be rolling, and I could listen to that all day. He be putting them guys down. Man, I love it, man. So keep up doing the good work there, Blood, man. Appreciate you. That's why I want to get you on In the Eye of the Storm, because I know you're going to be a great soundbite on there, man. I know with what you bring, man, and we respect what you do out there, Blood. So salute to you. Anybody who hasn't had a chance to sub to Blood Boxing's channel, the Boxing Spreadsheet, or Retro Boxing and documentaries, please go and sub to him. And same with Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens and my man Trap House Boxing, and also Laws D, and of course Legendary Top Cats. All the brothers in the LDBC doing their thing, man. And there's something in the bag for everybody. For those of you that think that, oh, you only like this or you only like that, you'll find out there's so much diversity out there. There's plenty of content and material for you to lock on to. You know, that's one of the reasons why I created the show In the Eye of the Storm, because I wanted to feature the various channels of the LDBC and give people an option of listening into something new that they may not have had a chance to, you know, buy into. So that's what that's all about. The community sticking together, bonding and growing. So what else we got? Christopher Jordan says that Stormybman. Now that's what I want to hear about boxing. Not all that man fanning. Exactly, man. You know, ain't got no time for no damn trolls, man. Get them the hell out of here. Ronald Finkley has fallen into the building. He says, salute Stormybman and Boxing Head. Salute to you, brother. Good to see you, Ronald Finkley. Box Express, she says, I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, man, that's going to be a great show when we can collaborate and do that, man. It's going to be great. Yeah. E. Wilson says, blood, go 0 to 60. Yup. And then he throws in that 180. Dude, that is so funny, man. When you put that on your the beginning of your videos as that intro, man, when I saw that the first time after you brought it out there, I was cracking up, man. I must have watched that like 3 or 4 times. So salute to blood, man. But yeah, man, this Crawford thing, after he moved up to 147, man, Crawford had people, out there. Crawford had people out there looking the other way, huh? They didn't look to run to him. And I'm going to say this. Some of you may be like Earl Spence followers or Sean Porter followers. And what I wanted to acknowledge is this. When Terrence Crawford first came to 147, that was the time to go after him. It was never a higher point, because what happened is he was the undisputed 140-pound fighter coming up. So one of those guys who could have been champ at 147 could have taken him on and found themselves in a big fight for big dough. And if you beat him, you get a lot of prestige. But now he's had a chance to develop at the weight. He has put on that weight properly. He's truly a 147 pounder now. And do you realize that everyone he's fought at 147, he stopped them. He's stopping guys. You have to respect that. And because he's doing that, he's formidable now. And he's comfortable in his skin. He's experienced. He don't back down from challenges. And it's like he wants to fight the best. You could see it. But some of these guys want to hide behind all of that other stuff. And they listen to some of you fans too, who speak unrealistically about the sport. When you say, oh, so-and-so will kill him. Oh, this guy, man, he can't take that. Oh, he's gonna run him over or whatever. All of that stuff, right? But let's see it happen in the ring. People were talking about Tyson was going to smoke Holyfield. Oh, he going to smoke Holyfield. He going to smoke Holyfield. Holyfield beat the shit out of Tyson. Why? Because all his life, he wanted to be heavyweight champion of the world. And all the time after he became heavyweight champion of the world, the people kept telling him, yeah, you did that, but it wasn't Tyson. So, since it wasn't Tyson, you still ain't the champ. So he was like, okay, I have to fight Tyson. Now, he took a loss or two in between that time, but when he finally got that chance to fight Tyson, he fought at a higher level because he always was told, it was drilled in his ear, that you're nothing until you beat Tyson. He beat the shit out of Tyson. He beat Tyson so bad that in the rematch, Tyson refused to take the same whooping twice, so Tyson bit the man to get disqualified and thrown out of the fight. And when I said he did that on purpose, yeah, he did it on purpose, because the first time he bit him, the ref took 2 points away and let the fight resume. Then he fucking bit the guy again. You know you're going to get disqualified. You know it. And that's what Tyson, that's his legacy. Huh? Biting a motherfucker instead of fighting a motherfucker. Huh? There you go. So all these guys talking about on paper what Earl would do to Bud Crawford and what Porter would do to Bud Crawford and Danny Garcia would do to Bud, and even Keith Thurman, lackluster, can't whoop Manny Pacquiao's ass, would do to Bud Crawford. Go sit down and take a seat somewhere until these men get in the ring and fight one another. Then you'll see. You will see. Because when they get in the ring and fight, all the things that you think about them. Remember, people thought Tyson was going to smash Holyfield. Oh, he's got the bigger punch or whatever. By the time that fight was over, Tyson was running away from Holyfield. Running. Just like Burt Cooper. Holyfield was putting it on his ass so much he turned sideways and he was running away. Huh? And Holyfield put him on the canvas. Years later, recently, Holyfield did an interview and he was asked, what about Mike Tyson? Was he the hardest puncher that you ever fought? He was like, no. He's like, I fought some harder punches, but Mike Tyson never really hit me with nothing. Because his defense was on point and everything when he fought Tyson. He took all that away from Tyson. That's why Tyson didn't want to do nothing in the rematch but get the hell out of the ring. You see? So these guys that you thinking are so tough out there today, you don't really know how tough they are until they get in there with another tough guy. And Bud is coming up from a smaller weight. You should be running to him to fight him. But you're not running to him because those feet don't want to move too quick in the direction of mystery. Because they know that Bud is a different type of fighter than anybody else that they're fighting. He's different. You know, for those of you who are maybe grown up in a certain community, there was always a guy in the community that nobody fuck with. Okay? Now you can go and be, street fighting and, tussling and rustling and everything. But there was always a guy. Ain't nobody fucking with that dude. Because if you got into it with him, you had to be ready to risk it all. So you stay away from them kind of cats. That's what's happening in this instance right here. Right before your very eyes. It's happening right before your very eyes. You are seeing guys who could do something right now. Al Heyman, I want to fight this guy. Bob Arum, I want to fight this guy. I don't want nobody but this guy next. That shit ain't happening. Guys are hiding behind promoters. You pull that screen back and see everybody standing up there naked and they can do their thing. Stop putting the borders and the roadblocks and stumbling blocks and everything in front of them. Let these guys get out there and mix it up. And the fans will be rewarded because you'll see some shit that you ain't never seen before. I said this once before. If you took Keith Thurman, Danny Garcia, Earl Spence, Sean Porter, Terrence Crawford, that's 5 world champions and former world champions right there. If all of those men fought each other, they're not all going to come out of those fights undefeated. Somebody is going to beat somebody, and somebody's going to lose to somebody, and somebody's going to beat somebody you didn't think they could beat, and somebody is going to lose to somebody that you didn't think that they were going to lose to. That's fucking boxing. That's what happens. You put guys in there. They have to fight each other. You can't have a legacy on you claim to love boxing. If you love boxing, you should want to see the shit take place. Show me. Huh? I don't want to sit up and fucking dream about it and fucking jerk off to boxing conversations with Reggie Orr says that 108 shit funny as hell. That was creative as hell at Blood Boxing. Yes, it was. Ronald Finkley says, when Blood talk, I listen, laugh out loud. Trap House says, Stormy, Blood gives us his side piece number. That's why he doesn't answer us. Exactly. I'm glad you're aware of that, Trap House. I'm glad you're aware of that, bro. Yeah, that's good stuff, man. Yeah. Let's see. I'm trying to run that back so I could. Let's see. E. Woodson says, Blood is that OG at the gas station you don't want to cut in front of. He said, Michael Johnson Boxing Talking More says, I was watching them darts live on YouTube. Shit had me dying. Lars D also says, UK for do love darts, B-man. I don't know why, because I think darts are shit. But when Blood be doing that 180, that's funny. It sure is. E. Woodson is saying, salute to the whole B-man chat, 100. Christopher Jornet is laughing. Lars D says, Michael Johnson Boxing Talking More. He said, bro, I know, bro, now a darts fan. Man, leave them damn darts alone. Christopher Jornet says, tell them again, B-man, I'm tired of hearing that. Let them fight. Yeah. He says at E. Woodson, 180. Lars D says, Evander Holyfield, Burt Cooper, that's a classic fight, B-man. Yes, it is. And Lars is saying, smash the like button. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owen says, hell yeah, I had multiple guys in my neighborhood that no one fucked with. Legendary street cats. You damn better believe it, because you're going to have to risk it all if you get in there with them with their asses, because they're going to get you. You understand? And Ronald Finkley says at E. Woodson, that was a shocker because of how I looked at Mike Tyson. Yeah. And who else we got? Boxing Spreadsheet says, yes, sir. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owen says, right. And Ronald Finkley says, T-Bud needs a Danny Garcia fight right now, or Ugas, to get these mofos off his back. And Michael Johnson Boxing Talking More says, at Blood, I sent you an email. They had darts live. Shit was fire. Michael Johnson Boxing Talking More, Blood ain't going to answer that email, man. He ain't going to even read it. I'm telling you that right now. But no, man, listen. As far as this Bud Crawford thing, what Ronald Finkley suggested, Danny Garcia or Ugas, yeah, those would be great fights for Bud. I would love to see him fight either guy, because guess what? I believe Bud is very capable. In a fight like that, it would define that he's legit to some of these naysayers. But the problem is getting the guys in the ring with him. Now, Ugas' fight could possibly be made easier, but I don't think that Ugas would be a problem for Bud, because Bud can fucking box. And he can switch. You know, Ugas is not a beast. The only one that I would consider a beast amongst them would be a duel between Porter and Spence, because of what they showed against each other. And Porter is a multiple-time champion. You have to respect that. But at the end of the day, do I think Bud could beat them? I would love to see. I would love to see them get in the ring. That's the best way. Then we can see what really happens. Yeah, go figure, man. Go figure. That's what that's about. Yeah. But those are the type of guys that need to be fighting each other. Mark Wunderlich is it there. He says, them darts, 180. Next is bowling. Yeah. What's going on with you, Mark Wunderlich? Utah in the house. Yeah. Trap House says, Stormy, that's what I've been saying this whole time. Yeah, man. You know, Trap, we ain't got no problem, man. We there, right? We there. We understand, man. It's like all that on paper shit, that's just what it is. On paper shit. That's it. That's it. Laws the Pimpin' says, great live stream, B-man. Thanks, Laws, man. I know you like to be entertained when I start sailing off on those tangents, but it's like I'm not doing that for entertainment's sake. I'm doing it because my passion for what we're talking about is like, man, how could you be endorsing a guy, but then don't want to see him get in there against someone who could show you how good he really is? You're not a real fan of the sport. You're a man fan, huh? You don't want your guy to get touched. You don't, you just put him in this little box. Huh? That's bullshit, man. I want these guys to get down and dirty. You understand? Holyfield is my favorite fighter, okay, of all time. In his hometown homecoming fight against Burt Cooper, who was a replacement for Mike Tyson, who pulled out of a fight against Holyfield after Holyfield had won the heavyweight title. He pulled out with an injury. In steps Burt Cooper, because Burt Cooper's body dimensions and style was similar to what Tyson presents. Holyfield had no problem because he was training for Tyson. But the hometown public debut, that was what the key problem was. Because sometimes when you're fighting in front of your hometown, you're not as focused as you ordinarily may be. Burt Cooper presented a problem for Holyfield in that fight. Okay? He presented a problem. But Holyfield was able to overcome Burt Cooper, but not before being banged into the ropes, suffering the first knockdown of his career, a standing 8 count and everything, where he was wobbled to the degree that when he went back to his corner, they ripped a little hole in his glove to give him extra time to, recover and recoup. An old trick that trainers pulled every once in a while, in every blue moon, back in the past. Here we are revisiting history here. Lou Duva and Georgie Benton, who were part of Main Event's coaching stable, and they trained many of the guys like Whitaker and Meldrick Taylor and what's his name, Tyrell Biggs and Holyfield. So they bought Evander extra time because the glove had to be replaced. Holyfield goes out and stops Burt Cooper. But I would never, ever tell you that Burt Cooper wasn't one punch away from becoming heavyweight champion of the world. He had Holyfield in deep shit. And who knew? We just thought that Holyfield gonna smoke Burt Cooper. Burt Cooper almost pulled that shit off, bro. But not before Holyfield was able to rise and take it back, but he did get that break. Now, who would I be? Just say, I didn't want to see that. Because Holyfield on paper should whoop Burt Cooper's ass. It turned out to be one of the most exciting fights of Holyfield's career. So you guys don't want to see these men match wares because you're such a man fan that you don't want to see him get dirty. You want to prop him up in the corner and dust off his gloves and everything and his trunks and keep him, what's that word? He's like perfect or whatever, not a speck of dirt or blood on him. No, that ain't boxing, man. That's some damn gay shit that you talking about right there. And stop being like that for the sport of boxing. Boxing is about machismo. It's about digging deep. It's about how much you got in here, how much you got up here, and how much you can lay it down right from right here. Huh? Not on fucking paper. Fucking timid ass dudes, man. They just want to, oh, well, yeah, that's what he said. But, he's the A side and he's the B side. And get the fuck out of here with that shit. Nobody want to hear that, man. MMT says, Bud is a good fighter. We just want to see more out of him at 147. How much fucking more? MMT pros. How much more do you want to see out of him? What about the other dudes? They need to be fighting each other. It ain't just Bud. It's all of them. Okay? This is for the sport of boxing. Bud just knocked out a guy who gave him a good fight. And that's what happens. When people come to fight, that's what happens. Anthony Joshua lost to Andy Ruiz the first time because Andy fucking came to fight. And Joshua didn't know. And in the rematch, Joshua felt like, oh, this motherfucker could fight. Let me be careful. Huh? Yeah. He didn't come in there with that same mentality he had in the first fight, letting the motherfucker hold his belts and shit. He was like, this motherfucker dangerous. He could take my damn head off. But these guys, they all should be fighting each other. And I'll tell you something. If they do fight each other, I ran it down to you a little while ago. I said, if those 5 men fight each other, all of them have one fight each against the other, none of them is going to come out of that situation undefeated. None of them. Because somebody is going to beat somebody you didn't expect, and somebody is going to lose to somebody you didn't expect. That's what happens in boxing, man. That's what you should be fucking clamoring for. Don't worry about these dudes' pockets, how much somebody is making and all that shit. This isn't about cashing out. This is about fucking fighting. You guys want to talk about in somebody's talking in their pockets and shit. Get the fuck out of here with that, man. Do you talk what you make with your salary all the damn time to other people? Even if you're talking about yourself, you ain't bound to tell nobody how much you make an hour or whatever. That ain't what you do. You probably don't even like to tell nobody what you do for a living. And that's fine, because it ain't important. That ain't what we supposed to be knowing. This is what I'm saying, man. This is the kind of thing. And see, Floyd Mayweather was a negative influence, and they hyped that shit. They put it out there. They put him throwing money at the camera, him talking about being 49-0 and all of that bullshit. Do you know that the 49-0 record that he had that became 50-0 don't really mean shit, because he was fighting at welterweight? Okay, there's plenty of welterweights who went beyond 40-0. Julio Cesar Chavez went beyond 40 and 50-0. He was 80-something-0 before he had his first loss. Okay, so Floyd didn't do shit special. The 49-0 moniker came from Rocky Marciano, who retired with a record of 49-0 in the ring. Okay, he retired with that record. Deontay Wilder right now has more knockouts than Rocky Marciano had. He's knocking people the fuck out. And he's not that far away from 50-0. That automatically catapults him into a better place than Rocky Marciano. Get the fuck out of here. What are you guys listening to? And they hype that shit in front of you. Floyd Mayweather, what he said and all that. That's all negative shit. And y'all done all bought into it. Because some of you are still young enough. You're growing up. And that's who you know to be great. Floyd. Some of you motherfuckers never even heard of Sugar Ray Leonard. Huh? Some of you motherfuckers never heard of Tommy Hearns. Huh? And that's more recent. Some of you don't even know who fucking Phyllis Trinidad is. Or Oscar De La Hoya. You know Oscar De La Hoya from Golden Boy Promotions, the owner of Golden Boy Promotions. Oscar De La Hoya was knocking motherfuckers dead too. You people don't know. Just fucking study your history, man. You got great channels out here like Retro Boxing and the fucking Boxing Spreadsheet, Scrapbook Boxing, Curtis Anderson, who can tell you all you need to fucking know to brush up on your knowledge about what you're looking at and stop being mesmerized by bullshit. There's people out here who can teach you some shit. And it ain't got shit to do with being a damn fanboy. Huh? Stupid, man. Ronald Finkley says, Holyfield made me respect weight classes because he was the epitome of jumping weight classes. Laws D says, peace. All got work in 6 hours. Peace out to you, brother B-Man in chat. All right, Laws D, appreciate you, bro. Have a good night for yourself. Boxing Conversations with Reggie Owens says, heart. Nicole C. Joseph says, that's SJW shit. MMT Pro says, you are right. All of them need to fight for the titles and stop holding them. The Boxing King says, breaking news. Mikey Garcia has signed with the zone, Stormy. Do you think we could get a Devin Haney fight or a Regis Prograis fight? We'll see. Huh? We'll see, because there must be some kind of agenda over there. MMT says, exactly, 100. AMG says, facts, laughing. Ronald Finkley says, Munguia is a main culprit at 154. Oscar De La Hoya is really a tool protecting him from the elites and holding that belt hostage. At Ronald Finkley says, at the Boxing King, damn right. Trap House says, the Boxing King, Mikey Garcia, is a prostitute. Yeah, he is. He is. MMT Pros is fire. Ronald Finkley says, shit, Sugar Ray Leonard was that dude. Yeah, but man, to let you tell it, man, I mean, some of these guys today tell it. I mean, Floyd could whoop Sugar Ray Leonard. You know? That's how deep that shit runs. People don't even realize that Floyd got to a certain point in his career and he would only fight non-athletic Latino guys. Guys who he would have an athletic superior advantage over, quickness, fast twitch muscles, agility. Okay, that's what he was going for. Where he could always look his optimum. He could look his best. There were plenty of young, hungry brothers that he could have been out there fighting that he would have risked that huh? There were guys like Kell Brook right there at the end. They were right there. You know, Keith Thurman was coming up. He was right there. You know, and a whole assortment of others. Huh? But he didn't face those guys because he wasn't trying to put himself in harm's way. He became a businessman. And that whole business plan became what you bought into. But a number of us OGs, we were around to see that shit happen. And we were criticizing him even at that time. Nicosi Joseph says, most people know Tyson and Mayweather and they stay with that. Exactly. You know? Trap House says, I agree. I think they will all lose. Yeah, if they had a round robin of guys that they all fought each other, everybody's going to come out of there with a loss. Ain't nobody coming out of that undefeated. Michael Johnson boxing talking more. Mikey Garcia better not fight Haney. We'll see what happens. You know? But I'm telling you, man, you can't buy into the bullshit. You know, there's plenty for fighters to know about this. There's plenty for them to know. It just has to take place. It has to take place, bro. That's it. You know? But hey, man, look here. I've been on here for a little while, talking it up with you brothers. But I'm going to get ready to get on out of here because Stormybman tired now. I'm hungry. You know I like to eat. And I'm hungry now. So I'm going to have to check on out of here and get me some vittles. You know what I mean? But I appreciate everybody that came out here to listen to me this evening. You got me to go on my little rant a little bit. But it is what it is. I want to say shout out to the LDBC and everybody that's in the chat. Can we get me up to that 400 before the end of the year as far as the subs? We had some people come into the chat this evening that I ain't never seen before. So if you guys haven't subscribed to the channel, why don't you go ahead and subscribe and help Stormy get that next 5 subs so I can make that 100 before the end of the year. And if you don't want to do it, then just hit the like button. Okay, and come back and hear some more at a later time. I appreciate everybody out there. So that's all I got for you guys this evening. Peace out. Have a good Sunday night.